Let's get it. Let's go. What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Wes back at it again with another video. Hope you guys been doing well. I've been doing fantastic. And yeah, we've officially got our first week of January out of the way. And now we are in the second week of January. So I hope you guys been sticking to your goals and really getting to it. We're not falling off this year. All right. So today we're going to be diving into a topic that's been causing a stir in my mind, right? The blame game. Specifically, why men need to stop pointing fingers at women for their own shortcomings. Because I'm sick and tired of it. And I've been thinking about this again recently. Like, how did we even get to this point, right? Every day we see it. Men blaming women for their problems. From relationship issues to societal challenges, there seems to be this ongoing gender war where women often become the scapegoat. But let's take a step back. I want to take a look at this article that was written in 1994. And it was published by the Washington Post. And the name of the article, as you can see here, is the Blame the Woman Syndrome. This is how you know it's real, because they've been talking about this. But I want to take a look at this article. We're not going to go completely into the article because the article itself is super long, but I will link it in the description of this video. But we're going to go through a few of the things that this article talks about, and then we'll continue the conversation, all right? So it starts off like this. Goodbye to the Wonder Woman of the 80s. Hello to the Wonder Witch of the 90s. The stereotype of the bad woman is back in style. A modern she-devil who wields enormous power for evil. She is a threat to the civilized order of society. And in the past few months, she's been making headline news. Sometimes Wonder Witches are responsible for terrible acts of destruction and deserve censure. Other times, they are only indirectly or very loosely involved, and still in the eyes of society, they are to blame and help perpetuate the notion of the bad woman. The most recent example of society labeling a bad woman is the case of Shirley Draper of Wimberley, Texas, who was indicted by a grand jury in the deaths of her two daughters. Her crime, she didn't prevent the girls from getting into the car driven by their father when he was drunk. It was the man who killed the children when he drove off the road and into a pond, but it's the woman who is being blamed for their deaths. This is the blame the woman syndrome. The French have a phrase for it. Look for the woman. When something awful happens, we blame the woman, says forensic psychiatrist Elisa Bendek at the University of Michigan. It is the old myth that the woman is responsible. The woman was provocative, that is why she was raped. The woman was snotty, that's why she was harassed. She doesn't do X, Y, or Z, she's a bad mother. It's a continuum of the bad woman. These myths are very hard to kill. They are part of the folklore. And as you can see, these are things that are still prevalent in 2024. Now let's talk about it. Do you guys find that interesting? Because I do. I think it's super interesting that a woman could be accused of a crime when she had no involvement in it whatsoever. Now, they brought up an example here of Shirley Draper, right? Her daughters were killed by the father. He drove into a pond. And yet, somehow, some way, she is then responsible for their deaths. A man could commit a crime, or a man could do something under his own will. He made his own choice. And yet, the woman is somehow wrapped up into this. Society places a heavy burden on men too. Expectations to conform to certain standards, hide emotions, and fulfill specific roles can be overwhelming. But here's the thing. Blaming women for these pressures only perpetuates the cycle. You cannot blame women for the choices that you make. You cannot blame women for the things that society have placed on us. It is what it is. If you're not the man that you're supposed to be, why are you even sitting here trying to blame women for what is happening in your life? You have more control than you actually think you do, right? Nobody has control over what you do, how you do it, nothing like that. Even when it comes to being in a relationship, being in a marriage, at work, or anything like that. Nobody has control over you. Instead of pointing the fingers, let's have an open conversation. Now, I see that there are so many panels on YouTube specifically, and some of these panels honestly are not even conducive for anything because nobody could even get a word in without people going back and forth yelling at each other. But what do you expect when you get a whole bunch of black people in a room? It is what it is. I'm just gonna say it, right? But let's be more mindful, right? When we are in these spaces with women, like let's really keep it open and conversational, right? Try your best to listen to women's perspective, acknowledge the societal pressures, and work towards mutual understanding or respect. Because I'm gonna be real here, there is a lot going on because both parties are not necessarily understanding women's psychology, men's psychology, how we are individually, and how we interact with each other, right? Nobody's really doing that work to really understand each other for real. So it's only during these times where we're really sitting face to face when we could have these conversations to really learn more about each other. So we need to be more understanding and just be open minded when we're sitting in these rooms to have these conversations with other individuals. I think it's important to remember that the true path to progress isn't in blame, but in empathy and collaboration. As a man, it is time to stop blaming women. If your ideal scenario is to be with a woman, to get married, etc., it is time to start building a better future together. And that includes for you to stop blaming them for everything that has happened in your life. I appreciate you guys for watching. Let me know what you guys think down below. Stay tuned, be blessed, and I'll be back with another one. All right? Peace.